Q6105. A written test has validity when it A. Yields consistent results. B. Samples liberally whatever is being measured. C. Measures what it is supposed to measure. The correct answer is C. Validity is a fundamental characteristic of a test that assesses whether the test measures what it is intended to measure. It refers to the degree to which the test accurately and appropriately measures the construct, knowledge, or skill it aims to assess. In other words, a valid test provides evidence that it is capturing the specific content or behavior it is designed to evaluate. To establish the validity of a test, several types of evidence can be considered. Content validity. Content validity refers to the extent to which the test adequately covers the content domain it is supposed to measure. It involves ensuring that the items or questions on the test represent the important aspects of the construct being assessed. Content validity is typically established through a thorough review by subject matter experts who evaluate the test items for relevance and representativeness. Criterion-related validity. Criterion-related validity assesses how well the test scores align with a criterion or standard. There are two types of criterion-related validity. Concurrent validity. Concurrent validity examines the relationship between test scores and an external criterion that is assessed at the same time. For example, a test designed to measure reading comprehension may be compared to a well-established reading assessment to determine the degree of agreement between the two measures. Predictive validity. Predictive validity assesses the extent to which test scores can predict future performance on a relevant criterion. For instance, a test used for college admissions may be evaluated by examining how well the scores predict students' subsequent academic success. Construct validity. Construct validity refers to the degree to which a test measures the underlying theoretical construct or trait it is intended to assess. It involves providing evidence that the test aligns with the theoretical framework or definition of the construct. Construct validity is established through various methods, including examining the relationships between the test scores and other measures of related constructs, conducting factor analyses, and assessing convergent and divergent validity. It's important to note that validity is not a single score or measurement, but rather a comprehensive evaluation of the test's appropriateness and accuracy in measuring the intended construct. Test developers and researchers strive to gather multiple sources of evidence to support the validity of a test. Q6117. In a written test, which type of selection type test items reduces the probability of guessing correct responses? A. Essay. B. Matching. C. Multiple choice. The correct answer is B. Matching type test items reduce the probability of guessing correct responses. In a matching question, there are two columns or sets of items, and the task is to match the items from one column with the corresponding items in the other column. This type of question requires a direct match or pairing of items, and guessing is less likely to yield correct responses compared to other question types. The matching format typically presents a list of items on one side and a list of options on the other side. The test taker must carefully analyze the given items and accurately associate them with the correct options. The options provided in a matching question are usually more specific and require a precise match, leaving less room for lucky guesses. In contrast, in multiple-choice questions, the test taker is presented with several options to choose from, including the correct answer. This allows for the possibility of guessing the correct response, especially if the options are similar or if the test taker can eliminate obviously incorrect choices. Q6112. What is a characteristic of supply-type test items? A. They are easily adapted to testing of knowledge facts and details. B. Test results would be graded the same of the learner or the grader. C. The same test graded by different instructors would probably be given different scores. The correct answer is C. Supply-type test items require the test taker to generate or produce their own responses, such as short answer questions or essay questions. These types of questions often involve subjective judgment in the evaluation process, as the responses are not predetermined or selected from a set of options. Since supply-type test items involve subjective assessment, different instructors may have varying interpretations or criteria for evaluating the test responses. Each instructor brings their own perspectives, preferences, and subjective judgment to the grading process. As a result, the same test answered by different instructors is likely to be given different scores. For example, when grading an essay question, one instructor may emphasize the overall coherence and structure of the response, while another instructor might focus more on the depth of analysis and supporting evidence. These differences in grading criteria can lead to variations in the scores assigned to the same test responses. The subjectivity involved in grading supply-type test items makes it challenging to achieve complete objectivity and consistency in scoring. This characteristic highlights the potential for different instructors to assign different scores when grading the same test. 6108. A written test having the characteristic of discrimination will A. Be easy to give and easily graded. B. Include a representative and sampling of the course objectives. C. Distinguish between learners both low and high in achievement. The correct answer is C. When a written test is said to have the characteristic of discrimination, it means that the test is effective in differentiating between learners who have different levels of achievement. In other words, the test can accurately identify and distinguish the performance of learners who are both high-achieving and low-achieving. The purpose of a test with discrimination is to assess the knowledge, skills, or understanding of the test takers in a way that allows for clear distinctions to be made between their levels of achievement. It ensures that the test is sensitive enough to capture the differences in performance among learners with varying levels of proficiency. For example, if a written test effectively discriminates between learners of different achievement levels, it would yield higher scores for learners who have demonstrated a high level of knowledge, understanding, or skill in the subject matter. Conversely, it would result in lower scores for learners who have not performed as well or have a lower level of achievement. This characteristic of discrimination is crucial in educational assessments because it allows educators to identify the strengths and weaknesses of individual learners and make informed decisions about their progress and instructional needs. It helps to provide a more accurate and comprehensive evaluation of the learner's abilities and helps in designing appropriate interventions or educational strategies. 6109. A written test is said to be comprehensive when it A. Includes all levels of difficulty. B. Samples liberally whatever is being measured. C. Measures knowledge of the same topic in many different ways. The correct answer is B. A comprehensive written test is one that samples liberally whatever is being measured. This means that the test covers a wide range of topics or content areas related to the subject being assessed. Instead of focusing on a single aspect or narrow set of questions, a comprehensive test aims to provide a balanced representation of the overall knowledge or skills being evaluated. Here are some key points to understand about it. 1. Sampling. A comprehensive test samples various aspects of the subject matter. It includes questions that touch upon different areas, concepts, or skills within the domain being tested. By doing so, it ensures that the assessment is not biased towards a particular subset of knowledge or abilities. 2. Representativeness. The purpose of comprehensive testing is to accurately measure an individual's overall understanding or proficiency in a given subject. By sampling liberally, the test aims to provide a fair representation of the entire range of knowledge or skills that are relevant to that subject. 3. Breadth and depth. A comprehensive test may include questions of varying difficulty levels to assess different levels of understanding or mastery. This allows for a more nuanced evaluation of an individual's knowledge or skills, ranging from basic concepts to more advanced or complex applications. 4. Holistic assessment. By covering multiple dimensions of the subject matter, a comprehensive test provides a more comprehensive and holistic assessment. It takes into account the breadth and depth of the knowledge or skills being tested, providing a more accurate picture of the test taker's overall competence. 5. Reliability and validity. A comprehensive test improves the reliability and validity of the assessment process. Reliability refers to the consistency of the test results, while validity refers to the extent to which the test measures what it intends to measure. By adequately sampling the content domain, the test results are more likely to be reliable and valid.